What is up, everybody? I am Nikolai, and this is Solargene episode number 2. Last episode, we started our stream video in game. I took you through a real short ship contract, and I really got to say, I am also disappointed in how much information, or I should say, lack of information that I supplied with you while I was doing it. I really just kind of blew through the contract. So, I'm just going to go ahead and give you a little catch up summary of what we did. We had a contract from Japan. It was a ship contract for 3 people and very little thrust, so you only needed 1 engine, and it paid out like 30 million. From that, we completed the ship contract, and now we also have our own little ship with some resources. And you'll notice we also have about $5 million. So now, what do we do next? Typically, I only do 1 ship contract. Now, the last one, really short, and also not my typical ship contract. I usually do something more along the lines of this. This will give you more than enough money to get you started on a research vessel. So, I'm actually going to take you through a normal ship contract in the way that I build and how methodical this one will be compared to episode 1. So let's sign our contract. We need 6 people, 76 million. Definitely gonna be able to do that, especially since we already got our ship here with some resources. But let's go ahead and buy some first. I typically start out with 1,000 of each building resource, with the exception of electronics. Electronics, have to keep them low. They do weigh a buttload. But for your non-ferrous, through all the others, all the way to steel, optics, and polymers, you really only need about 1,000 to get you started. Get yourself 1,000 oxygen so you could place some rooms, and we will go from here. If you'll notice, I switched over the country. Price changed. You could go ahead and do this in order to shop around for the cheapest price for your purchase. Typically, if my contract is through America, I choose America. It's a habit I've gotten into to help me even when I go and hire staff, because I can't tell you how many times I have had to either start over, ship people away because I hired the wrong country, the contract that I was trying to purchase some resources. We're going to go ahead and speed this up. Right now we pause because we got our stuff now. Let's dive in. So, first things first, I always move the storage room, because this storage room is trapped, very much so. You can't really expand it, and if you do expand upwards, it's in your way. So I always do this, build off one of my sides after removing all of the doors on this bottom, because I won't have people accessing any of these rooms regardless. So the other thing, when you first start out, before you have any research done, you have only these sets of blocks. Don't use the 5%, don't use the 3%, don't use the 4%, don't use any other percent except for 7. This is the perfect setup for starting ships, and you'll thank yourself on the efficiency of your heat later on. So 1, 2 blocks, more than enough. And I always build these storage racks because you can fit 3 in a row, side by side. Place all 9, and because we're giving this away, this is my methodical building. You're going to want a large heater in here. Again, methodical, because I have run into so many situations where I was like, yeah, that should be more than enough, and then I'm like, but now it's all failing. Why? Because I didn't go ahead and do enough. So, this is just how I've learned. I 100% recommend finding your build style and what works for you, and just get habitual behavior. One more. Alright, we got all that. Let's see how much fuel is we're gonna need. Definitely gonna need some more storage tanks for the liquid, so let's go ahead and put one on each side of that. That should give us enough there. And let's get into, we have enough for the engine. I'll place that down. I think, however, 42. So we need actually 2 engines. So let's just hit the shopping cart, and that adds the price of that to our shopping cart up here. That way when we purchase, we will have it when we need it. Rotating station, yeah, I need more. So this is about where we do the second round of purchases, and now you can do a lot more because you have better storage. So this is where I usually go big or go home, because you will use these on your other station. Whatever's left over, you can ship over to your other ship and use that to jumpstart your research vessel. And we'll do more oxygen. Let's go ahead and do that. 24 million, not bad. Let's check our funds. Hit finish construction. Yeah, see, 52. We're still good. Still good. We've already done the biggest purchase that we're gonna do. Everything else is just really kind of. May notice down here, meteor shower damage. You're gonna be just fine with one of these. So as soon as you have the ability, just put it in right here. And then one thing I see that I actually forgot is diffusers. Especially around Earth, you need at least 6 of these. Six. Now, come on, shuttle. Still doesn't deliver? Yeah, okay. How many shuttles? 3? Alright. We'll wait. Shuttle services are slow at the start. You just gotta get your research up. That's the name of the game. Like they know what you need. Hurry up and wait. Here it's saying in this game. Now we have satisfied our thrust requirements for the. We have all of our resources. Let's pause. Just gonna check batteries for sunrise. Nope. Alright, we're doing good solar wise. Probably gonna need to expand that a bit more. We're done, because 6 people. But let's see. 1, 2, 3. Now, we don't have the spacious living quarters like I like to use, so place just a little dummy apartment anywhere you want. Somewhere else. Slot toilet. Slot shower. Hallway. Three. Our hospital. So I was building this my normal way the other day on a ship contract, and I was like, do I really need? So I'm actually gonna do something that I haven't done in a long time. I'm gonna change the way I actually build. This is just because it's easier. You're only gonna do doctors if you build like me for your ship contracts. So I just need to fit 6 beds in here. Good. Reason to do a centrifuge and all that stuff because they won't be on the station long enough for it. That's perfect. And we can just do a large heater right in here. 1, 2. Well, perfect. Ooh. Oh. Get away with single blocks. These do 6 apiece. Alright, now station room. That just opened up the spacious apartment. So, with that opening, same block as your apartment. I too. Thinking size beds we may even. Yeah, look at that. Cool. Efficiency. Blocks for that. I'm pretty sure I can get rid of this without any penalty. Yep. Alright, cool. Now we just need the canteen. It's probably also going to be able to get it via 2x2. That does 4 people. That's for 6. Probably not going to be on. Alright, they're probably not going to be on long enough, the station long enough to. So I'm just going to leave that like that. They can walk under there. Yeah, they can. Actually, path all of a sudden decided to work now. LCD wouldn't let that stay there. That's definitely overkill for this room, but oh well. Wait, let's double check generation 560. No, we are going to need at least 2 more. It needs new colonists. We need water. As far as resources, food, water, and oxygen. Those are the 3 things that in all stations. No matter what. Without them, without water, they can't go to the bathroom, they can't shower, they also cannot sorry, they can consume food with rations. But when you start getting into and a lot of cooks, they can't cook meals without water. So, water, rations, oxygen, 3 things every colony needs. Then, as far as blocks are concerned, you need recreational room, canteen, so they can eat, hospital, they can have their medical needs taken care of, bathroom and a shower, and then a place to sleep. Now, that's just needs. Like, alive and happy. Another happiness factor, however, is jobs. If you do not have them staffed, they will slowly lose happiness because they're just standing around bored with no job assignment. This is why I do all doctors for ship contracts. Two in one kind of room. Instead of the industrial room or a bionics room or a biotechnical room to satisfy a job requirement, I have their medical needs and their job taken care of with one room. I hire only doctors. Also, for any ship, any station, any crew you plan on keeping long term, even in the short term, 2 doctors minimum, because if one gets sick, they can't heal themselves. This is everything. Yes, we need to get rid of. So, here, add a little gun, and that should make it go back to normal. Now, if you were keeping the station, I would double that up. I would put another gun on the other side. That gun satisfies this. If you read this carefully, it says meteor streams differ in mass, speed, and direction, so it is recommended to have more than the number of turrets recommended by the Fort on all sides of the station to ensure construction. That means I placed one gun on this side, and it satisfied the meteor damage. But now I need one gun on this side, and this side to ensure 0 damage is done. Something I learned the hard way also. I had an entire colony with 160 people that got obliterated because I left one side open. Power needs. Now, next step, water, rations. I'm going to have this amount of water because they won't be here that long. And then what I need to do now is I leave the station. Put a new station in orbit, because this one I plan on keeping. Send what I call a purge. So this, that, this. Right. So this one 70 million ship contract is about to pay for another whole ship. And this is usually what I start out with. Just one single ship contract, big payment around $100 million, and I roll into a research station. That's essentially what my process is for getting started. Yesterday, with previous episode, I just basically blew through a ship contract that was really sweet and simple, just to kind of show you the speed at which you can. So let's go ahead and get our crew. Again, make sure you're hiring the country that the contract is for. You cannot give away a Japanese crew to an American contract. Or any combination. doesn't really matter price-wise. Skill-wise for this, we're just giving them away. So let's hire our crew. Hurry up and wait. Worth noting at this point, let's go ahead and save it, because this is a big checkpoint. If something goes wrong, we can at least revert back to right before arrived, and hopefully save our butts. Equipment and resources. Crew just arrived. Let's go ahead and set them up in their gigs. Wait for this shuttle to. Alright, let's go ahead and pause it now. Since we have no resources, we have our crew. We're almost ready to give this ship away for the contract. Satisfy our delta V, which is basically how we measure. So we need 5. Calculator. 5. Let's see, we need 27. And purchase. Let's hurry up. Wait. Pause. Now you'll see 4.9. While I fully 100% support the calculator, it calculates from that point. Now we have carbon dioxide that has been generated, some oxygen has been consumed, what have you. Did this because I wanted to show you. Typically what I do is I add about 10% to every single purchase when I use the Delta V calculator. That covers your asset. This kind of situation. So I did it on purpose to kind of show you guys what kind of happens, just to let you know, like, hey, go ahead and round up. Not wasting any bit. You're still gonna have 34 million with another ship and a ton of resources. So I don't stress about it too much. Sorry, we just bought another 100 fuel. Put us well up above where that we need. Pause it. Contract. Thanks USA for our millions of dollars. Now we've got our own little ship right here, and we just need to make some storage space. Now, let's go ahead and buy some electronics. The reason why we're purchasing our electronics right here is because we do not have enough storage in the station to receive the ones that we had from our previous station. So this is let us build our storage unit. Extra electronics. Here they come. Because this one's going to be ours, I'm actually just going to go ahead and scale it up, typically a little bit bigger than I would start out with, like a contract. Just because I don't want to storage problems later on. Double. And it's okay, because this ship's not going to be a transitory. It will not. This is going to be our order, and we'll probably rename. When I make these, I don't fix what's not broken. And you can upgrade it if you feel like having more efficiency, but typically, like if it's autonomous, if it's 100% autonomous, there's no point in you going back and changing it or making it more efficient, because you're just creating more need than you have to handle. Because when you upgrade these, you then need to ship the high-tech resources in order to maintain repairs, blah 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 blah.
don't create more jobs for yourself than there already are. Best way I can put that. That's a nice contract. But we really don't need more money. Station first because I like to have more than one shuttle port. For faster delivery. Shuttles. So I already know. Before we move to the habitable section. Habitable section. Words. Reading section. Alright. Dummy living quarters. Again, I do not know why apartments versus spacious living. Get into comfort, maybe, but I'm telling you, I'm still going to find a way to build my barrack style spacious living apartments versus the apartment blocks that only carry one columnist. I could fit 5 people, single block, one block with an apartment. That's going for efficiency. It's a no-brainer. It is also 10 times easier to single room as far as efficiency is concerned, and it is for. Oh, that's because these are. It is definitely 10 times more efficient to just a single large room versus single rooms. Okay, there we go. This is where I was saying for ship contract, we typically don't have to build a 2-story hospital. However, with the new update, you have some issues because of the centrifuge. There's a lot of headroom. Bring you up, spin you around like you're on a ride. Surgical. So I typically try to provide every piece of equipment. Actually, I should say for every station, because I just like everything except for this hyperbaric chamber. They decompress in space. I'm pretty sure you're on. So yeah, here we go. This is typically my setup. Probably a little bit bigger than it needs to be, but that's okay. We also do
not need to expand this for some period of time. And then I just noticed one large heater is not going to be enough. So let's go ahead and get our second. Now I guarantee that that's good. Power's good, hallway's good, toilets are good, hospital's no good. Alright, cool. Let's move on. Recreation area. This little pocket.
And you're probably saying, well, you don't need a large heater inside that room.
We'll expand later on. I plan to scale. So if I can provide the power for the infrastructure that is larger load than in one site. Supply it. Because of my method, my infrastructure will always stay ahead of requirements of the crew on board.
It's basically preventing problems before they arrive. That's what I try to do. Canteen going in here. At some point, you're going to need no tech room because continuously buying you're going to lose so much money. I am going to show this way that I have found in my 700 something to make your stations 100% autonomous. The largest ones that I have made,
One of the largest, the longest game that I have played, I had 20 something stations, and trying to manage all of those and fly through time. Ships or stations or have to get them there.
see, 17 people in a 4 block.
This is 4 that go into the apartments. It's a no-brainer to me. Alright, so this kind of satisfies all the needs that would for a ship contract. But we're not doing this for a ship contract. We're doing this for a research vessel. To be its primary. Research go. I typically start out with a 3-man crew. I have actually found this to be insufficient, so I do a 6-man crew, and I ensure that I have 2 of each type of scientist, because with the new type of research update that came along with 0.14, the skills play into the research. So a physicist has to do physicist research. If a physicist is working and all you're doing is engineering research, none of the work that a physicist is doing is actually. He's just sitting there slapping a keyboard. So we've got those set to order. Electronics and more steel I can already see. So we're going to order a few other things too. This is medicines, rations. We'll go ahead and get 1,000 more of those. Let's put this up to my comfort zone, which is about 5,000. I'm also going to get the water that is my comfort. That'll cover us for a long time. Long time. So Why? So there. Got no room. I'm gonna set up. Actually, I'm not gonna set that up just yet. Let's get into industry. So for your industrial room, don't do oxygen scrubbers. Why? Yourself an electrolysis machine. Go to your warehouse, set the oxygen production to 5,000 and your hydrogen production to 50. Once you have these two amounts inside here, you will never touch your water again. That acts as your oxygen scrubber. The reason why I say that and do it this way is because you want the CO2 so you can create carbon. Carbon is now the only way to purify water, which will be used in the bio. Here's my carbon machine, water, or purification of water. And then the last thing you can get is polymer production, because this actual size is a little bit bigger than I like to go. Starting out, especially if you're gonna have one guy working in it. The reason why I say you can get your polymer production is because you're going to create those hydrocarbons through your bio. And then we'll go ahead and set this to set your carbon to which is why we do that very fast. Starting to use too much energy, so it's time to expand that energy. Lots to charge. Speed it up. Could go through, turn off some things, but I mean, you'll see right after. Now, I don't even need to. This is why you build the infrastructure where it's required. That's fine. That's fine. Let's check our batteries quickly. Need more energy generation. Our sunrise to sunset cycles are about evenly matched, so you need to be generating twice the amount of power as you're consuming for an Earth. So we need to get up to above 2,700. This means we need to add another 7 solar panels. Deal. Go right across our diffusers. Good there. Products. Waiting on that stuff to arrive. Assists. Double check that pathing, we're good.
off. 5, 6, 7. 7's definitely not going to be enough. I can tell you that from personal experience. So we're actually going to make this just 2 blocks of bigger. Do 7 more. Nothing. Good. Now in here we want to match 14. 12, 14. And do yourself a favor. Turn off tracking temperature from your server room. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going in there. That equipment doesn't get damaged. Let's get back to our maintenance room. Whoa, where did my room just go? Ever get lost like that? Just find yourself one of these guns you can even. And it just takes you right back to it. There's so many little things in here hidden around that you might not know about that are. Still need to expand that solar grid. I think this is everything we need. Production room, repairs, server, research, taxation, hospital, power. Did we do our spatial survey? Alright. Now we are almost ready to hire the crew. You have to cover all sides, so I'll put him back here. I shouldn't have to move them. And let's get our solar. Seven. Let's just wait till sunrise. Oh, making 28. This calls for us to have 34. So we're just gonna go 35. We're at 28. 7. So let's go right next to it. Alright. Batteries probably could use a little bit more. I'm sure we're fine. 2 hours. We have more than 2 hours. But I don't ever like to leave it a chance. Finish this row of 7 to give us more than enough power, generation, and everything. So we still have not built our bio room. Yeah, why not? Because the new typical, if you want to leave these places 100% autonomous. It's kind of set up.
This is fine. No, that's not fine. Lava room, I still haven't really figured out the best way. Let's see. It has to be so big. It used to be one of the smallest rooms, and you could even divide it up, and now it's just my least favorite room. Do this, actually. There's only going to be one guy working. So, perfect. He can get in his own way. Perfect. See, we still have double the generation than we require, and we have more than enough battery space. Let's get our crew. I'm also going to go ahead. I noticed that our electronics are pretty low. Steel. So let's put this back up. 2,000 of our own polymers. Cap that off. Perfect. Still have 11 million left over. We're doing good. Let's get our crew. This is about... You're going to have about a 10-man crew. So, I always go with Euro for my crews that I keep because they are the easiest to supply meals when you have them. For your doctors, you're going to want 2 or 3. It's really a preference on whether you can do anything less than 2. And if you're going to do 2, do a therapist and a surgeon. I'm going to do 3. We are going to do biologists. I'm sorry, 3 surgeons. Biology, 1 physicist. Let's get rid of our stuff just behind that. Can you find? No. Alright. We need 1 recycler fabric. Sorry, recycler biotechnician. For your industry room. 1 technologist. Or you just go with the guys who have no skill. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Usually you can get away with about a 10-man crew if you get rid of one of the doctors. That's typically what I do. I'm going because I already know I'm going to get 3 more research guys right off. We're actually going to go in and do that now because saying earlier, 1 is typically not enough. You need about 2, and once they start getting skilled out, they will need about 3 researchers altogether. Per tree. Just wait for our crew to arrive. This is a good time to save. While we're waiting, we're going to point out just go to put your repair bar up to about 90%, and you can check where that is right here. Basically what this does is it'll start repairing earlier when things are damaged at 90% versus 50%.
not forget that you have an assign free button down here. Basically does all of this for you. You don't have to click each individual one. What you really need to do yourselves are the maintenance people, because of the skills. Same thing with your research room. Ed, do yourself a favor, uncheck skills that are not leveled up. What this does is it'll make sure that this guy, who's a biologist, only does biology, and then he's not leveling up his other skills. When they level up other skills, you have to pay for that. So by not leveling them up, you keep their salaries, your money, all it. I think this is about the last of our crew. So you don't really have to do that like I just did with those industry people. You can alternatively go into here, those three into the maintenance room, him into the production room, go here, and just do this. That's the easiest way to do it. Then you don't have to unassign, reassign, and all that kind of stuff. They're proper places. So now that we have everybody here, let's move our rest bar down a little bit. This, a little closer to negative, the more they'll work. Closer to positive, the more they'll take care of themselves. So you see our guy who's a technologist, he's going down here. He's got to top off our hydrogen to get to the production level. That's fine. He's going to use a little bit of pure water. No biggie. And let's go ahead and get some research going. Now, we actually first need to see who is asking for what. There's one for safe nuclear energy. America doesn't want to give us anything. There's a bunch of deliveries. There's another for safe nuclear energy. 3. Alright, so we got 3 people. Safe nuclear. Go ahead and get that. Now, if you played before 0.14, skills update, you are used to that being it. Selected a research, I'm done, I can't do another one. Eyes. Eyes, they eye into you. Bam. Bam. You can do as many researches as you want, because research power of your colonists effectively skills. So, my 2 combined skill levels of my engineer provide their power against all the engineering that are being done in it. Notice it's all going up at the same rate. And we don't need to complete nanosensors and biorepo because they're not under contract. But we have a physicist team and a biology team, so we might as well get some work done while they're sitting there and getting paid. Can cancel. Solar system view. I'm going to go ahead and save it. And it's fine. Take this opportunity to rename it. Z. this up. Happy, so I'm going to go ahead and do that last final tick. Pause it real quick. If you don't know, the spacebar pauses. The mouse is somewhere out here. Behavior, I don't. We need to finish our renew contracts. It's 10 days, but we have time if we want to. But there's no other engineering to do without this. So I'd say 3 countries, you got a nice, decent payout for the research. These are stop. Especially in the early game, I don't want to complete single research unless I've been paid for it. Because why do something for free? Add your wallet. That's how you do it. So, you'll notice down here my research and my computer power. They're starting to go into That's because my research team is skilling up. But we are completing a research contract. So I would argue you don't actually need to scale up your research crew just until you notice that you are not completing enough research. Now, so power plants, composite nanomaterials, and carbon electronics. You do need to hunt for these. You do need to hunt for carbon electronics, high temperature structural materials, and nanosensors. These are the 3 things you want to hunt. The reason why I say that is because engines to get to the 3 combination engines versus the new and all it took was me sitting and waiting around Earth a little bit. Way, find what way you enjoy, and I'm going to tell you easier ways that I have found to do it. Carbon electronics, I want those composite nanomaterials. I'm 2 units of you, but I'm researching nuclear thrusters. Consider that an action. Power plants, I'm not so worried about the materials. So we'll wait for the cycle. That research contracts are good. Let's fly. And we haven't gotten paid for composite nanos. Let's stop that. Stay away from low gravity plates on the surface of the moon. Diagnosing. It wasn't giving more in jet fuel. This might be. That's, RNGs sometimes are just a roll of the dice. You just play with what you got. I had one. 2.5 hours. Audio off. And then I went to go do edit. This was drastically drowned out the sound of the game. Audio engineer and I played this
time through a lot better. You can actually hear me. Episode 1. I hope it's okay. Engineer. I apologize if it's terrible audio quality. Yeah. I'm actually going to go ahead and get this. And we'll stop that. Typically, what I try to do with my research, about 50 million. But you are also looking for specific resources to be given. Recombination fuel. Take it until you have about 20,000. 20,000 is more than enough to get you to the moon. You probably want to use 5, but 20,000 is a good round number. Recombination engines, they can take you to Mars. Typically, I have always found by the time I'm ready to go to Mars, I have to wait for Mars to get in proper. It's not a lot. Still haven't gotten paid for carbon macro structure, so I might stop those actually. Sucks is we cannot have our physicists continue. Stop it and hurry up and wait. One of these two other contracts. There we go. That's a nice one. Electronics. That is perfect. Here we go. Biorepository. Let's get paid for it. Engines. We can go ahead and start our nuclear power. Engineers. Start our nuclear power plants. Wait until we get paid for them to complete it, however. And you see, I just put biorepo and synthetic meat going at the same time. Biorepo is going to finish so much faster because it requires much less. Out synthetic meat. Organs. Yeah. Low gravity plants. Yeah. Honestly, really, this is the salary payout because right now money is nothing. So you see, we've been able to just sit here and watch our game. And stop the nuclear power plants. Station and set it up. Handle its own problems. Cycle all of its own stuff. That's how you gotta think. You gotta think, how can I make this 100% autonomous?
Kind of sucks we completed nuclear power plants, but I mean, it's no biggie. Here soon we are probably going to scale up the research team as far as their power is concerned. We're starting to get down to. I mean, we're flying through contract. We're going to get up into doing those recombination engines. That does take quite a while. 972 research points when you're only doing that. You can do the math. It's not fun. It's like let's see if anybody's going to pay us for what we've already done. RNA. It's carbon macrostructure. Ooh, wait. Let's take the money. Carbon macrostructures. It's a nanosensor. Let's do the nanosensors first, because we'll have more time to do RNA. Ships. So we'll do that. Ooh, I think I just messed up. I'm not going to be able to complete that in time. That's 130. We don't have to pay anything though. Normally, that would have sucked. That actually still does suck because the resources to do it. What? So I want to get started on this one as soon as possible. Not doing anything in the engineers. What's that? It's engineering. So, yeah. Let's go for meta materials because of this. This is so nice to get. This is typically when I try not to scale the research power to this one. This and eye on these. Construction material. Awesome. We're getting paid for that. Plenty of money to go to if we wanted to now, but we're not going to. I could start setting up our second orbiter, one that will go to the moon, but I don't want to do that until I get to that. I want to set them up with that stuff immediately. So, accept our rewards, take inventory of what we've got. Keep an eye on this. Research. Contract. Let's do that individual genomes. We're already researching. Why not? Carbon electronics, nice. Paid for it. So many things just finished. Let's go to news aesthetics. So we just need to start up aesthetics. Finished made of materials, but we still haven't done carbon electronics just yet, so still not gonna see it. Still need a bio. Meeting, that's good. Come on. Guys is healthy. Just had our first meteor shower and it updated to show us that we require 7. So unfortunately. And just start these. That'll do. Good there. Let's see. 334 days of resources for repairs. We are lacking in research power, but we're alright right now. Wait. Contracts for that. We're doing okay. We're actually really okay. The only thing that sucks is we have now gotten contracts to pay out nanosensor. Carbon electronics. Thermonuclear jet fuel. Heck. I think we'll take that though. Not gonna be able to use the fuel, but we could sell it later on if we need money. But meh, don't look like we're gonna need money. Take it anyway. Might as well get paid. If you could afford it, you could go ahead and cycle these contracts if you wanted to, like this. So it only costs 10,000. Much. Lose a little bit of reputation, but so we just got a whole new contract set of stuff. So actually might do that. Percent. Quantum chips aren't bad to stockpile early. Pain in the ass to make, but they will catapult your mining. So I think we're gonna sign that. Take that on. full of the stuff we don't need. We're going to complete that research very soon. Completed our aesthetics research. That means now physicists are solely working urban electronics. Very, very nice. Urban electronics, let's get paid for you. But they ain't giving me the right stuff, so cycle China again. Uncooled superconductors. Give us nanosensors, please. Alright, we're in a real long period of hurry up and wait. More so because we're waiting on those carbon electronics research to finish so that we can scale up the research power. You'll watch as soon as we scale it, we'll almost be finishing these things as soon as we get out of the research menu. It's too easy. A lot of this in there. I think this time I'm going to show you guys the difference between these. So if I'm in my solar system view, you see my warehouse is constantly moving. Processes the trace amounts of water, all of this stuff. But if you go into your station view, see it actually stockpiles. If you go into these different rooms, it does that because it actually requires 88 carbon process and make carbon oxygen. For performance issues with a game, you have to do these kinds of things. Unfortunately, you you're in these view, don't worry that this stuff is not processing like it should, because as soon as you switch out of this view and start doing it, waiting on a resource kind of like carbon, and it's the first time you haven't made your carbon yet, switch out to your solar system view. The gameplay a little bit, and then you can go back into here. I know that that's annoying. There are reasons why this has come about, has been the behavior, and has been widely accepted by the entire community. It's just how gameplay has to perform. Before, the dude would just kind of walk up, slap the machine, consume your resources, but give you nothing. Till he had consumed all of your resources and then arrived at the total amount. So like it made you believe that you were losing resources without getting any yields, and this was the better way to go.
it now waits for the actual full amount. And it is also why you will continuously see this on just about every single station that does production, because you don't necessarily have those resources. This example is stockpiled and no one can work. But if I go out here, time it actually processes and gives me the resources. Just learn to love it. It works. The alternative is things that don't work. So, love it. Done with those carbon electronics. I think carbon and gene therapy are the only we're really waiting on. Carbon, gene therapy, carbon, 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 carbon. So 5 out of 6 is carbon. 14 days left. We'll definitely finish it. It's just hurry up and wait. And then as soon as those carbon electronics are done, we might be able to go put... No, we don't have sensors for the carbon electronics to spare for research. So this may be a playthrough where we end up doing high-tech production on our orbiter. I am usually 1,000% against this until you get to the asteroid belt. But you do what you gotta do in early stages. Just do not. I don't go to the moon with any other combination engines. I don't. All the other ones suck. They're not efficient enough, and you'll spend all of your money on fuel. So, this is why you learn to love your speed control functions. Would it be nice to be able to skip faster? Yeah, but I mean, 9 times, 10 times speed is flies by pretty quick. In the early stages, yeah, you're just kind of sitting here watching stuff fly around stuff. Later on, when you have a station on every single rock, and on all the way out to Triton, you got plenty to do. We will definitely. I'm not taking the recombination ones just yet because we're not close enough on the research. So nice, finally some recombination fuel. So we actually, I am going to, because at this point we're already researching recombination engines, and we don't have, by this point, if I don't have the resources to build the recombination engines by now, and we don't, I start getting the high-tech stuff. So we're going to go ahead and just move straight into the high-tech. Buy some resources now because we have 100%. We have over 100 million. We're just sitting here doing nothing with our money. So, high-tech room sucks. Power. Noticed. I just looked at pilot production for the nanosensors, and you need
carbon, hydrocarbons. I don't want to buy hydrocarbons because it's only 2, and I'm not going to use them later on. So what you do is hydrocarbons are made from bio-waste. Your house, hydrocarbons, consumption restriction. This means that it will not use anything below this value. So go out to here. Let our hydrocarbons build. Pause. Switch. Back into our hydro room. My tech room. Back into your warehouse. Remove the refrigerator. That. Might not need this. Suggest getting it anyway because will for actually we have enough of these, so I lied, you don't need this. Normally if you didn't get enough high temperature structural materials you would need it because you see it requires those composites to make that. We're good. You need hydrocarbon or carbons, so we're gonna need to get a good amount because it requires these to make them. It requires a lot, 172 carbon per so sucks. I'm also gonna have to buy iron for the nanosensors. Let's just do some quick math here. We need 60 nanos, 50 carbon, so 60 of these. Let's just round that to 5. Just about 2,000 iron will do it for the nanosensors. And then for carbons, 7,000. I 10,000 of that and 10,000 iron. The storage. Let's check our staff rooms. We're gonna hire 2 more high-tech people. We have enough there, have enough there, have enough there, have enough there. Filling out the rec room. So we're good. Let's go hire industrial and make sure you're on your correct country. I want specialists. I don't want people who have 2 different ones like that because then I'm paying them to have technology skills that I don't need. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about it though. I don't like hiring 2 different stages, nor that. This guy. Hurry up and wait. So again, industrial people set them where you do. Our high-tech room is starting to get above 20 degrees. That means that you need more. The station's getting pretty big.
makes sense. So do not cover up these guys. Go on top. 5, 6. That'll do. Check our high-tech room. Gone back down, we're good. Okay. Now it's pretty much again just a hurry up and wait kind of thing. Just letting you guys craft materials or just stocking up on those materials. We upgrade our research facilities until we get those materials. So let's save our game. Take a look at our contract. Let's make sure gene therapy is going to finish out soon, and it will. Why are we not doing we will probably call it there. I think we'll go ahead and just say that that's on the next episode. We will build our ship that gets us to the moon and launch out the recombination engines. I hope this episode has helped you guys. Some of the common hurdles, some of the things that build off my entire crew in the early stages. And happy colonizing. See you in the next one.